Hey guys, Footy Manager TV here, and welcome to the start of the second season of my lower league management playthrough in Football Manager 2016 with FC United. The season is going to get underway today, playing the first game of the season, but before that, as you know, I'm going to go through the transfers. I always love doing these episodes because usually I'd spend the day doing the transfers, and I actually did that in lower league management for me anyway. It's a bit longer than opposed to maybe just like a big top four team. Just say my Arsenal save, transfers will probably be a bit quicker the off-season. But in lower league management, you really want to get those free transfers, as obviously there's more available. There's so many potential signings, and I wanted to get the best players that wanted to join. Obviously, there'll be restrictions. There would have been a lot of players leaving clubs, but yeah, you can't get them. Like, it's not like you can sign players leaving championship clubs, League One. It is slim picking, so I believe I made the best signings, and I'll just remove the position there. But you can see I'm just searching for dribbling there, and you look at the attributes, best dribblers and other good attributes they may have. There isn't anyone that's completely outstanding. And I went through all different positions, but I'm pretty content with my signings and the players that joined and the players we let go of. I'm pretty happy about the upcoming season and that we can fight for a promotion. But before we check that out, I'll just go to the club and I'll go to general, and our media prediction has gone from 18th to 13th. In one season. Obviously, there'll be new promoted teams, so they'll be a bit lower, but I believe we have improved the club and the quality of the club in terms of players in one season, which I think in terms of YouTube videos and everything like that, it seems maybe to some people it might drag on. Like, a season is longer than when you're just playing it privately, obviously. But one season in Football Manager is not a lot. That's what I'm trying to say here. Like, you gotta start to make changes in the first season, but the bigger changes comes maybe 3 or 4 seasons in. So like I've been doing, I'm going to be playing more games off camera now to progress, because I've been really enjoying it of late actually as well. So you should see a lot more of this save, but I will be playing more off camera. So what that means, you'll see a lot of games, or you'll see me getting through more games, not specifically showing them all, but in terms of progressing through the season, and so we can really develop this club. That's something I've really wanted to do now, thinking about it. So I'll go through the players. I won't really click on these players that we let go of, because you know them already. James Knowles, he kind of didn't really play, but Tom Greaves, Callum Byrne. I'll talk about it as well. A lot of players we didn't offer contracts to, but some are staying on like a month-to-month contract because they wanted more actually than they were on. So I thought, you can stay on what you were on already, or you can leave, I guess. Sam Madeley, Nia Bianyu was in the under-21s, Sean Cook as well, Greg Daniels, maybe a bit harsh, he was okay. And we didn't really get in a striker, interestingly enough, because we got some later in the season anyway. Dean Stott as well. He actually didn't listen to a new contract. So I wanted to offer him a new contract, but he wanted to leave to a bigger club, which he did do in Macclesfield. They're in League 2, Conference. They're in Conference. So he did want to, progress to a bigger club. Fair play to him, but he was the captain. So that's just a thing as well, changing a captain. In Football Manager, it seems something not minimal, but it's not something huge. But if you think about it in real life, there's obviously talk about it when teams change their captain. So, that is a big move, letting him go. Well, he's the one that wanted to leave. Chris Lynch, you know about him as well, a centre-back, and Mike Norton, a striker as well. So, there wasn't too many crucial players that we let go of. That's all I was happy with. So, now we'll go on to the signings. And a lot of them are defensive signings. We kept a lot of our attacking players. I was happy with our goal-scoring ability. But we brought in a few midfielders as well, but you'll see that as we go through. So the first of the 3 first signings, if that makes sense, they were made on the 4th, as you can see by the date. But Sam Minihan, who is a 22-year-old right back, Could also play centre mid if needed, but yeah, he'll have that right back position to himself for the most part. Very good physically. He's only 22. You can see that potential ability in him as well. You can see some pros and cons there. But yeah, he's high work rate as well, so he's a decent tackler. He doesn't have too many lower attributes that are important, but yeah, a physical beast. And or not like a beast, like the 11s, and there's a 12 in there as well, a couple 10s. That's okay, and he's 22, so he's not going to get worse as a player. So that's the first fullback we signed. The next one was on the left side in Jack Harris, a bit older, 27. He's played at this level for a while now for Gloucester. As you can see, a consistent player over the years in real life, and last season played 29 games in the league. He played 21 actually off the bench, so maybe he didn't start too regularly. But I got to tell you as well, left back was a hard position to find, and even right back as well. I was pretty happy to get the guy I did, Minahan. But fullbacks are really hard to get, so with some decent attributes. Like physically, you could probably say he's lacking, but 8 9s and a 10 as well. He's not terrible. He's got determination, 16. He's brave. 14 tackling's very good as well, and not terrible marking. 10, heading is 11. And a lot of fullbacks, especially at this level, they're very low jumping reach and heading, not very good in the air, so he's good at that. Could play defensive midfield and also left midfield as well, so a few positions Jack can play. Happy about the signing of him. He's got some lower attributes, but some important attributes like 14 defending, or tackling I should say, yeah, the 14 tackling, so he's good defensively. That's what I mean, his defensive attributes pretty good. Next up, another signing defensively is a centre-back. We made a few centre-back signings. The first one was Tom Marshall, 28-year-old, and you may be seeing a pattern. There's something I wanted to target. I reckon that was important. He's on a non-contract as well. I'll show you contract details, so yeah, appearance fee, a decent amount. We did have also a decent amount of wage budget, and we still have a lot left. But yeah, some non-contracts, so you've got to keep that in mind. But yeah, I wanted to target some centre-backs that were good in the air. I wanted to be good defensively, obviously, going to next season. So that's something I wanted to focus. We'll have a good partnership at the back with 2 solid centre-backs good in the air. And first up, yeah, Tom Marshall, experienced as well, coming from Altrincham. He was in the conference, playing with them last season. Obviously, only played 4 games. It is a higher quality, but the games he did play, he did well, judging off his average rating. Over a 7 average rating for the season. I know, yeah, it's only from 3 starts and 1 off the bench appearance, but he played well in those games in a higher division. So that's all you can see from that. 191 centimeters as well. So yeah, he's tall and he's good in the air with heading 14 and jumping reach 14. So pretty happy with that signing. And next up, yet another centre-back signing, but this is more a young lad, but he's good. He could be as good as any of the other centre-backs we have. You look there, he's right up there. Ryan Austin, we'll talk about him, that we signed him. Joe Kearns, his only real concern is stamina. It's 5, so I'm going to be looking to improve that via training, but then he's got the 11s for all the technical, important defensive attributes. Tackling 11, marking 11, and heading 11. And then mentally, he's pretty sound for only a 20-year-old. And he comes from Crewe. Obviously didn't play any games. Obviously, League One, quite a better league than we're in right now. But yeah, he's a good mix of being physically, mentally, and technically alright for a 20-year-old, a guy who's only going to get better. So that's a good signs. Leave your thoughts on the signing of Joe. I think he can be a very good centre-back and also could play right-back if needed, just that rotation purpose. And then Dominic Roma coming from Gainsborough. He was still contracted to them, but we could sign him on a free. He was like unattached. So Dominic Roma, I did want to sign him for his versatility and also his experience at this level of football. His key defensive attributes, marking is 12 and tackling 12. And then he's really balanced, like heading 9. And then the physicals, I think they're pretty balanced without being amazing. And he is a fullback, but he can play 4 defensive positions. Obviously, right back, left back, centre back, and sweeper. If I ever wanted to implement that, we could utilise him there. You go to report, see he's right up there as well. Maybe a rotation for Minahan, but for me, he can be that defender on the bench, so we don't have to have more than one defender on the bench. He could come in a fullback position or centre-back as well. And you can see Gainsborough last season obviously didn't do so well average rating-wise, but he's good enough for this division. That's really important for the type of role I want him to be playing as a rotation player. And he's got a lot of mentals that are like 10 and 9, so I don't think he'll be outstanding, but he'll play a role for the team that we need. Ryan Austin, the final defensive signing, probably the pick of the bunch, you could say. He's got quite a few higher attributes. He's got a bit to his game. He's got quite a bit to his game. Of course, the good defensive attributes. He's got quite a few. Look at that. Tackling 14, heading 15. Obviously marking there as well, but those really high ones, heading 15, tackling 14, strength 14, and jumping reach 14. So talk about the aerial prowess again with that other lad I mentioned before. The heading 15 and jumping reach 14 have two really strong centre-backs that are good in the air, and we can dominate and hopefully forge a good centre-back partnership that we don't change too much like last season. Mentally, he might be on the weaker side. Like positioning's only 6 could be a problem. Anticipation, another important defensive attribute. But yeah, he's a strong centre-back that's good in the air pretty much, and he can pass if we need him to make some good passes. 11 passing, not terrible. But also his preferred moves. He shoots with power, that goes along with hits free kicks with power. 12 free kick taking, so he can be decent in that way, and marks opponent tightly. So that's good for a guy with his defensive ability for this division, or most definitely. And if we go to history, Brackley, you can see he played 41 games, 31 starts, 10 off the bench appearances in the league. Didn't really get many assists, but you don't expect that really from a centre-back. He can play right back though, so we've got a few rotation options there like we do for the left side. So I'm pretty happy with those defensive signings. And now moving on to a midfield signing in Danny Ratchie. I think that's how you say his name. I've seen this guy around always when I've done lower league management saves in the past. As you can see, you go to his history. He's been around actually. He played League 1 football, League 2 a few years back. And then he dropped down to the conference for York. And then he actually went to the Scottish Premiership to play for Kilmarnock. So, yeah, he's got a bit of experience in him. And then he went to play in Iceland. So he's travelled. He's travelled around. And then he came back to England to play in the conference. You can see for FC Halifax as well. He only played 8 games, though. But it is a higher division. Dropping down, he'll be a good player in the Conference North, I would like to believe. Can play centre mid, right mid, and centre attacking mid naturally. But in our formation, and I'm continuing the same as well, yeah, 2 natural positions, centre mid and right mid. Maybe I'll put, attacking midfield when we rotate a little bit, but very strong technically, good passing technique, long shots as well. He's got likes to lob keeper as a preferred move, pretty nice. If anything, he lacks physically, but mentally, look at that determination, flair, vision, work rate, composed as well. He's a guy that will be a very good player. I would like to see someone like that to get a lot of assists for us this season, and then of course utilising our parent club in Millwall to sign Mikael, I think is how you say his first name, Mikael Njoli. He's a left midfielder. I was actually searching for a late backup. We do have a couple guys that can play left midfield, but I just wanted to add an extra guy, and basically the only player they had available for loan, or that wanted to join anyway. There was this striker who was pretty decent, but I think he would want to play at a higher level, so he rejected the loan offer, but he was really good. So those are the players' signings. Please leave your feedback, as I did spend all day. I spent all day basically. I would say maybe a good 5 hours, 4 or 5 hours, focusing on that actual playing time to make sure I made the best signings for the players that actually wanted to join me anyway. So I want to show you the staff changes we made. They're all like for likes as well. Rodri Giggs, under 18 manager. We replaced him actually with David Birch. He ended up retiring, so we couldn't get him as a player and a manager, or under 18s manager anyway. He actually retired first, and then I saw him actually in the options. There wasn't too many managers available that will be under 18s in the staff search, but he's got some decent attributes, so who knows, with that determination, level of discipline, he's got some decent coaching attributes as well. We can utilise him. We got him doing the training for the under 18s and everything like that, so yeah, it's good to keep him on, a player we had as a player. Then also goalkeeping coach, the one we had before, Culkin, he only had 5. That's not good enough for a goalkeeping coach. So brought in someone a bit better quality, and he's only 29 as well, so can improve his attributes. Goalkeeper's rating is 14 for coaching. Also level of discipline 15 along with determination. So that's good for a coach as well. And in an assistant manager, we got Mark Jones to replace the previous assistant manager in Darren Lyons. Has more about him, a bit better judging of ability and potential, which is good. Tactical knowledge is 9. I got him doing the opposition instructions now. I tried to search for a high tactical knowledge, and 9 was one of the highest, surprisingly, for assistant managers that wanted to join. But then level discipline, I should say, he's got some good coaching attributes as well. Not too many low ones. The only real low one is goalkeepers, and maybe defending only 6. But yeah, he's a good balanced young assistant manager. So I am happy with those signings. I showed you as well expectations. 13th is the media prediction. So progress that from last season, obviously being 18. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. And I told you about there was a lot of players that I wanted to offer new contracts to, but basically, well, we could afford to actually, but I just thought it was a bit above their quality, like Wolfenden. Obviously, he smashed in a lot of goals, but I saw players I could have signed that had similar attributes, so I wasn't sure about how good he actually is. You go offer new contract, and he wants like 625, and then 90 pounds appearance fee, and appearance fee right now is only 25 pounds. There's a huge difference. You see what I mean there? So I don't see the use in that, in offering a new contract if he's just going to stay on anyway. So that's pretty good. And we still got 4K in the available wage budget. You'll say that, maybe sign more players, but our squad's pretty big the way it is. But we do have quite a few players on non-contracts, as you can see. Some of them are players that stayed though as well. Like you'll see Wolfenden will have that. We're still paying him. He's out of contract though. He's not a non-contract. We're still paying him the wages as we were for the previous season. I just don't want to offer him a lot more money, which a lot of them do want. So we'll go to the match preview today. We're kicking off the season away from home, so maybe a draw would be acceptable against Colwyn Bay. We'll have to see anyway. And the next game is just 3 days later, so we got to be mindful. And that's why we do need a big squad. You can look, our squad's big, but keep in mind, if you may think that, a lot of them are, guys on a non-contract. Maybe we could just let them go. So that could be a case as well. Without obviously paying them compensation. So no problems there. So this is going to be our starting 11. Henry Collins, I might as well show you him as well. He's continuing to develop. So I'm really excited about this lad. And obviously, he's only on £5 per week. So pretty cheap at the minute. You'd think I'd want to offer him a main contract though, especially if we have 4K, because this guy could have decent potential. And I reckon he can be a big goal scorer this season. And he's got better, sharpness, match sharpness than Wolfenden. We only had 4? What was the preseason games? 4. We lost the first one against Millwall, obviously affiliate club, so that automatically player friendly. But then we got decent results against teams we should be getting results. We got 2 wins and a draw, so unbeaten against realistic teams for us to beat. So this is Team Minahan. Anyone else I didn't really talk about that's starting? Michael Powell still at the club as well. There's a few guys. Tom Brown could actually start, but it's hard to say. Michael Powell, a bit better superb. He's close to superb morale. Very good anyway. A bit better morale. Jack Phillips as well, I feel, have a good season. Caminino, he's only getting better as well. You can't see, if anything, mentally poor. But good player. Can score on his day. And we're going with the target man because we've got Dully, and don't forget, we have also got Adebola. So we've got a few guys in there. It's a big squad. It's a big squad, I know, but there's going to be a lot of games this season once again. Austin, Marshall, those are the guys I'll be looking to forge a partnership with Joe. Obviously, Joe Kearns will be rotating. That's something I probably need to do a bit more. But like I mentioned on Dominic Roma, you just put him there and he can play all defensive positions, and you can have more midfielders and attackers on the bench. So we're just going to go straight in, and hopefully we can start well to the season. I have high hopes this season, very high hopes. I'm happy about our signings. We improved the defense a lot. I would want to be seeing more clean sheets this season. and a lot of less goals, much less goals being conceded. So we'll see if that will be an effect or not. I'm pretty sure I had the opposition instructions applied for the assistant manager, but I'm just remembering now that sometimes they don't in fact do that at this lower level, because obviously, player quality not as good, so I don't think they need to do anything. They don't think they need to apply that. So responsibilities, first team, and they've got Mark Jones. He handles opposition instructions, but obviously he doesn't need to see his judging playability 11 and tactical knowledge 9. Yeah, that's not too bad attributes to have, again, for a team of this level. So this season, surely, I noticed some people saying I have to get promoted this season as well, regardless of expectations, so it doesn't drag on and everything like that. But I'm not going to be thinking about that. I'm just going to be thinking in my own way. Yeah, I want to get promoted this season. So, what are we going to do? Come on, lads. Show me what you can do. There we go. Gomez Dali. I want him to step up, actually, because we signed him last season, played him in a few games. He had a few knocks and injuries there. Then he kind of faded out of the team. But he's got decent attributes. He's strong and he can finish for a target man. So, then we'll go. There's a lot more to come from you. We'll go those talks. I'm really excited for this season. I always get, and this is another thing as well, the more, is anyone else the same? In a football manager save, the more you play a save in terms of seasons, like every season, you're liking the save more. That can tell you it's a good save as well. But that's for me. I'm really excited about this second season and hopefully the prospect of getting promoted. And there's something, oh no, what a disastrous way to kick things off. A penalty given away. Let's just hope he misses it, because this will be a disaster. This is not the way. I've gone in with a great mindset into this game. Johnson steps up. Oh, I was hoping maybe he could miss that, Joey Johnson, but didn't look like he was going to miss that at all. Oh, that is... Wow, there's so many ways this first game of the season could have went, and conceding a penalty in the first 6 minutes is, exactly probably the worst thing that could happen. Okay, they've got another corner. It was defended well. Now it's Gascoigne. Got to be careful of him. Oh, Caminino. Look at that. Surely we could get a chance. I thought we could have conceded a second. Oh, no, maybe we will. I don't get too excited. Oh, how about that, though? What a position we were in. And we could end up conceding Gorman. No way. Oh, Carnell saves me once again. That's why I kept him on. Gave him a new contract. But Caminino, come on, mate. Giving the ball away. See, that's how I concede a lot of goals, by player error. I said I wanted to improve that. Like, I thought Caminino, he's a decent player. He can be good getting forward. Maybe can score goals. But, a lot of it comes like that. And Matthews, I can feel them dominating. It could be like last season as well. Oh, come on. Just don't let them through. It's Johnson. And already scoring from a penalty. He would be confident. And that's his second of the season. And Colwyn Bay are actually a newly promoted side. I checked before, their media prediction is to come 20th. So, obviously, we were put behind the 8 ball when giving away a penalty. That's very frustrating. So, may have to change things up going into the second half, but we're going to have to come in with a team talk, wait to half time, because, that's the only way we can kind of give the players some confidence of sorts. So, looks like we're just going to be heading into half-time as 2-0. 2 goals behind. Going to half-time, two goals behind. Oh, it's not what I want. I expect to see a much better showing in the second half. You see my instructions as well. It's very specific how we want to be playing, so we got to take it to them now in the second half. We just got to change up to attacking, pretty much. We have to go for it, go for some goals. And then if we go to tactics as well, we'll put the wide midfielders on attack. They're going to need to be pushing up a bit more now, and especially the central midfielder. Maybe change up to advanced playmaker, and we'll go on attack. Got to be creating a lot more. So, we'll see if they'll come into effect. So Marshall picks up a yellow card there. I just hope this is one of these good second halves where we can turn things around and we can maybe get a couple goals to get something from the game. But obviously a lot of new signings will take time to gel. But I don't want to use that as an excuse. Oh, I really want to... Like, I envision starting well to this season, you know, like starting with a few wins. But now it's Crankshaw, Waldron, Love. I feel a goal coming. I can feel it. And it's 3-0. And it's 3-0. Not a very good start. I thought... Well, man, I know it's a new season, so players are going to take time to gel, and match fitness is not very good at all. Look, see, there's a defender there, but yeah, I'm not really going to overreact. What are you going to do? It's the first game of the season. And yeah, I'm not going to... I could easily start talking about... It's the first episode of the second season, so I don't want to overreact. Like, I want to talk about... if I don't get promoted this season, maybe it won't be worth... progressing with these series. Or this series, as people have actually mentioned that. I have to get promoted this season, so... Yeah, but I don't want to talk about that already. I don't want that to even be a subject. We need a... I say we need a goal, but it's seemingly that it is unlikely because they're the team that looks like... Oh my god. Oh my god, this cannot be real. This cannot be real. 4-0. Colwyn Bay. Maybe they're actually good. Some lower teams are actually decent because don't forget, they would have had to be a decent team and win a lot of games last season to get promoted. So... Maybe this is a time of experimenting, but Sam Minahan, what a terrible performance. What a terrible performance for your debut. Maybe that's a thing as well. Rachi coming in. Oh, look at Michael Powell. Tom Brown going to come in. We're just making all these changes. And morale has taken a hit. That's something I really don't want. Gomez Dali will take him off. I guess we'll bring on Wolfenden. We'll put him in the role, actually, we did last season. We'll put him in the shadow striker, and hopefully, they can do something. We're not going to win the game from here, so I'm not going to, make the video longer by changing things tactically in depth, because, we'll just make the video drag on. I spent a lot of time showing you the signings. But it is a bit disappointing. Most definitely. Because, like I said, I spent all day today making these signings, and hopefully, we could have got off with a win, and we were playing against a team newly promoted. I thought, definitely, this could not have been it. But I was thinking about it as well when I was trying to sign players. I was like, oh my god, look at this again. Lucky straight at Carnell. But I was thinking that to myself. We're not going to be improving this team a whole lot. If I'm thinking about the players that want to join, I was finding all these other players, but they just didn't want to sign for me. And I thought it was realistic. Guys who actually played in this division some players that they got released from their contract and they didn't even want to join me. Players that were playing in this division last season, just for different teams, and they didn't want to join us. So that's how hard it is. Some of those players didn't even want to join. So obviously signing players that come from teams in a higher division makes it hard. And it's hard to progress. Don't forget, this team, FC United, got promoted in real life last season. So you're not going to become a team that's going to be vying for promotion and winning the title in one season or a couple seasons. If you think about the Premier League, compare it like that. See a team like Bournemouth or something like that, they get promoted. You can't expect them to finish top 4 or something like that. So it is the same comparison. But also, it's the first game of the season. So I don't want to overreact. Come on, Colin. Score a goal, mate. Wolfenden. Someone. I want to see a sign. I haven't seen a sign today of something good. Something positive. Phillips. Let's go. Wolfenden. Of course Wolfenden would score. But, wow, I was happy with my defensive signings. Like, really, really happy. I was like, we could be good defensively this season. We could concede minimal goals, and the first game of the season, we concede 4. That's the good thing. You've seen already the low conditions. Maybe that's an issue as well. We have to address. Like, Colwyn Bay, I guess they've had a lot of clear-cut chances. Maybe we could get a second here. This could make things interesting. Oh, Brown! That had to be a goal if it was going to make things interesting. So, some good late signs, if it means anything. They're probably just sitting back and relaxing, if I'm honest. So, maybe, yeah, there's not really too much in it. We are having a few chances. Something to keep in mind, we've actually had more shots in total. They're just been very effective. They've had 5 shots on target and scored 4 times. So, they've just been very clinical. So, that's something to keep in mind as well. Gorman... At least we scored a goal. But maybe we're going to have to start Wolfenden. I wanted to give Collins a chance. Didn't provide much, though. But the defense, it was horrific. I don't want to talk about them too much because they're all really new signings. So I'm just going to say I'm not happy with the performance out there. And hopefully just puts them in a good mindset for the next games coming up. So yeah, lads, we're going to have to move on. But if that's going to be the case again, especially in the first half of the season, where we may struggle in our away games. I remember that at the start of last season, away games struggled, but at home games, we could pick up wins. But if that's going to be the case again, like it's going to be same as last season. We could go for a run late, but it won't be enough. So it's just the team. And don't forget, club... we'll go to expectations. We'll go general. It's 13th. The media prediction is 13th. And the board what are the board actually expecting, though? We'll go to competitions. And, Conference North. The minimum expectation is still to avoid relegation. So, in terms of me keeping my job, I've just got to avoid relegation. Also, to update you, I signed another contract when the season ended, for a season extra, because it was to the end of 2017. I did sign a new contract earlier, but then another one, so an extra year, so the end of the following season after this one. So that's a good thing. But yeah, in terms of me keeping my job, it's just avoid relegation once again. But regardless of that, I want to see progress. I want to see at least as good as last season. Last season ended up being really successful. I ended up finishing 7th, which is really, really high, considering, because we just killed it at the end of the season last few months, picking up so many wins in a row. But that puts pressure on this season in a way. But if anything, it's just to you guys. You guys will probably want to see me do better than last season and try and get into the playoffs. But in terms of our player quality, I think our defense is slightly better. It's slightly better and a bit more rotation options. So I reckon as the season gets on, maybe a month in, we can kind of, settle with a solid back four and hopefully keep clean sheets and then start to score goals. But anyway, hope you guys are not too disappointed with the result, because I was so content with my signings. I was really excited. But then I get that goes back a little bit. And also something positive. Look at our overall balance right now. Last season was about 500k for the duration, and now it's 700. So if we can stay around that 740, 750k, if we get that again, maybe we could push to 1 million in the following season. We'll have to see. But if you guys would like to see this series more regularly and just FM videos in general, please drop a like on the videos. It really helps my videos, and it lets me know that you guys actually want to see this certain series and the game that I'm playing. I just compare to my Football Manager videos and FIFA. I always do that. So, but I'm loving this right now. Before I lost that game and it was just horrendous. The cards were on the table though when we got that conceded that early penalty. I was like, this could be a bad loss. This could just not be our day. But anyway, I'd like to think when our players get a bit of match fitness, we can play some good football. But as I mentioned, drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the very next one.